Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Medeek Wall plugin. My name is Nathaniel P. Wilkerson, and today I wanted to show you guys a new tool that I've added to the Stair module. And so this is with the Stair module, and before we had basically just two icons, right? Two tools, Draw Stairs and Edit Stairs. So now I've added a Draw Railing tool, an Edit Railing tool, and of course a Move Railing segment. So all right, let's go ahead and put that back, and let's just go ahead and get started. We're going to throw it on a grid real quick here. And you'll notice here I'm using SketchUp 2026. So basically I've been using SketchUp Make 2017. I think that's primarily what I've used in all of my tutorial videos up until now. But SketchUp or Trimble actually has said that they're wanting me not to use that anymore in any of my videos or any of my development. Actually, it doesn't mean that the plugins are not compatible or backward compatible to SketchUp 2017, but it just means that I'm not going to be showing that as much in any of my tutorial videos and any other promotional stuff that I do. All right, so let's jump right in here. I'm just going to go ahead and click this Draw Railing tool. And you'll see right away what pops up here is a fairly complex menu. I apologize that it's so loaded, I guess, or busy, but it is what it is. Basically, if you've got to have the flexibility to do all these different things that you need to do, it's you just kind of have to have a lot of options. So anyways, all right, so I'm just going to leave the default settings, and I'll get into those here in a bit. But let's just go ahead and throw down a railing, and I'm going to just use the grid here. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to stretch out here and grab some points on this grid. Kind of just this S-shaped railing. Okay, you can see it kind of shows a preview. Very similar to the stem wall polyline tool in the foundation plugin. Once you get to the end where you want to quit, just hit enter, and then it'll draw your railing. Okay, and so there's our railing. First things first, let's go ahead and hit the edit now. Now you can edit by just clicking the button or the icon down here, or you can just right click on the assembly, and you'll notice you have all these options pop up here in the context menu. So edit railing assembly, and there's our edit menu. So spacing first off with these posts and such. When you come down here, you'll notice that there's 4 post options: a start post, end post, corner post, and intermediate post. Okay, so every wall, or well, not every, but at least an open railing assembly will always have a start and end post, and it may or may not have corner. Well, let's see. Yeah, I guess it'll always have corner unless it's a linear piece, and then it may not have the intermediate. So if you turned off, and notice up here, this is where you turn stuff on and off, right? So we've got PTP, which stands for post to post, OTP, which stands for over the post, and we have none. Okay, I'm going to select none for middle post just to show you what the difference is here. Okay, so you notice all those intermediate posts between the corners go away. And, if you want to not have a start post, I mean, for instance, you've got it just backing up to some wall or something, you can do that. Same thing again with the end posts. And of course, you could probably do that with the corner post too, but I'm not going to do that right now. What I do want to show, though, is what the difference is between post to post and over the post. So really the only, if I'm clear on this, I've got to, of course, look back in my code. But when you have an over the post situation, what happens is the railing, the handrail, will not be subtracted against with the post. So that means, notice with these over the post or post to post situations, like which these all are, that the railing will terminate up against the post. Actually, what's happening is it's actually cutting it. Okay, it's doing a Boolean subtraction, and what I mean by that is let's draw one other one real quick just to show you something a little more complicated maybe. So I'm just going to go here. And let's see, sorry, it's clipping like that. So let's just do something like this. Okay, so you can see here that it's not just, you know, a flat face that's terminating on in this corner situation. We actually have kind of a weird wedge situation going on. So it's actually doing what's called a Boolean subtraction there, and of course on the bottom as well. But if you do switch to OTP, then it's not going to subtract away, and it will allow you to put fittings in there between the posts. Okay, so let's jump. I'm going to jump actually over to one that I've already kind of set up. I think it's this one right here. Just gives us, save me some time here. So notice this railing here. It has over the posts, and it also has all these fittings. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this so we can take a look at what's going on here. All right, so notice here our start, end, and all of our posts are actually OTP. And you also can now, under the handrail section, you have this option to select these different fittings. Now you can still select these fittings currently, even if they are post to post, but it's not actually going to use them, right? It'll only use them if that like intermediate post is set to OTP. So you have all these handrail fittings that you can use that match this handrail, and actually I have a whole bunch in here now. Let's see here, I'm just trying to think which one is the best to look at. So if you look at the end post, I mean, there's a lot of them that probably really don't apply, but there's quite a few, and I've actually added a bunch of other new ones. So like for instance, you've got this profile as well. And I'll just go ahead and update that. You can see it's, of course it's not going to match, but this one's going to take a little while because we have such ornate posts here within the, or not posts, but balusters and everything in here. So you can see, of course this doesn't match, but you can select, and actually with the corner posts, even though I've noticed that I've selected this 135 angle or 45 degree angle one, it's smart enough to figure out, okay, that's not a 135 degree angle. So it will take that style of post or handrail fitting, sorry, and it will apply the proper angled fitting to fit in that piece, right, into that particular node. Okay, so let's just quickly look at some of the fittings and everything here. I'm going to actually undo that just so we don't have that all messed up for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and edit one more time. So here we go. We've got handrail options. Most of this I think is fairly self-explanatory. We've got 4 different post settings for, you know, the 4 different locations. And then we get kind of more into the more interesting stuff, in my opinion. Similar to the Stair plugin, you can select 2 different types of balusters, so you can alternate them. But you don't have to. If you want them to be the same, you want to select the same setting for both. Like if I just want none, you know, this basic square style. Go ahead and update on that. You'll see what I mean. So basically, with the balusters and the posts, if you select none under the profile or the component, it will then default to what's up here, where it shows you the square and the round. Okay, so basically, if you don't want it to use a default and you want it to override with a component version, then you can do that here by selecting one of these. Now, if let's say I want, I don't know, let's try this one. I can't remember. I think that's the ornate one. Actually, I don't know if I wanted the ornate one. That takes a while to update. By the way, yeah, the more ornate it gets, it takes a little longer. So you just have to be aware of that. It's a bit of a trade-off. So, for instance, let's say I wanted both of these now to be. I didn't want that alternating pattern. I just want it to both be the same. So I'm going to hit that, and that should make everything the same. Just give it a second to update. Granted, when you get a lot of panels like this and more complicated geometry, it takes a little while. All right, that's a little bit overdone, but basically you get the idea. All right, so just like the Stair plugin, we have baluster shoe options. We can turn that off. I'm going to click none on all this just to show you how that works. And now we're going to hit update again. We've turned off our baluster shoe. Give it another second update. All right. Notice I have an offset here. Basically, this offset. Notice the bottom offset it's basically a vertical offset. So what that's doing is normally it's going to draw it all the way down to the 0 point or the ground, but I'm offsetting up 1 inch, and the reason is because I have the shoe rail option turned on, and because I've set my shoe rail height at 1 inch, then I want to bring those balusters up 1 inch. I mean, you don't have to do that. They can protrude down into that and hit the ground if you like. So just lots of settings here. Yeah, let's see. The shoe rails, I've added in a few different profiles. I can't even remember what all these profiles are. I probably should have a preview image for this. Now, if you do select a shoe rail profile, it's going to override, this width and height, of course, and you'll notice that that baluster may be floating up in the air depending on how big this shoe rail is. Yeah, so it is. So you may need to adjust that to whatever. Notice I don't include the fillet on these particular shoe rail profiles or components that I've added in. The only reason is I just figured, I don't know, I kind of like visually to see that groove is there, but you can add in your own custom profiles as you can with all the balusters and the post profiles and sweeps that you can add in. With the balusters, notice here I just wanted to point out all these ones that have the underscore BAL, BAL standing for baluster, those are components, and then the ones here, these two right here are profiles, so they sweep that profile. I actually prefer using components. I think it's quicker and easier than having the plugin try to sweep a profile, but you can do either one. And you'll notice that in the custom library folder, I think I've discussed this in the baluster tutorial previously for the stairs, but it's the same. It uses the same folder and location to find those. There's 2 subfolders within that baluster folder, and you can put profiles or you can put components in each one, respectively. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. At the making of this video, at this current time, the only railing type I have enabled right now is the balustrade. So if you try to use deck, glass, or cable, you're not going to get anything. I will be adding those shortly, but yeah, I just wanted to get this out there and so people can kind of test it out and tell me what's good, what's bad, and what needs fixing. Just to get some feedback. All right, let's see here. Last but not least, I just wanted to, I did want to show one last thing. And basically what the last tool that I need to show you guys really is the move railing segment. So kind of like the same thing with the polyline tool in the foundation plugin, the stem wall tool. You can go ahead and select any one of these edges and you can shift it perpendicular to its direction. So like for instance, say I want to move that there, just click, give it a few seconds, and there you go. And I'm not sure why that added another intermediate post. Maybe it calculated it needed another one. Anyways, so basically that's it. If you guys have any other questions or comments or suggestions, you can see you can come up with some pretty interesting balustrades or stair railings, and lots of different geometries are possible. Not sure what I was doing there, but just kind of testing it out. So anyways, yeah, I appreciate you guys pushing me to get this done, and as always, feedback is highly appreciated and encouraged, and so we will talk to you guys later. Thank you.